Hello, so I decided to do an apartment this time. Kind of imagine it to be maybe a single mum's apartment. There's only 2 bedrooms, so could be a single dad, you never know. But yeah, single parent apartment was the vibe I was going for. I'm probably not really going to talk too much about the build because I think that's boring. So instead, I'm just going to talk about something else. So I've said this, I feel like I've said this a million times, but just for reference, I'm from the UK. I moved to Texas almost 6 months ago now, and I still keep in touch with my friends. I've got some really good friends at home, and we FaceTime like all the time, every single weekend. And I was on FaceTime last night with about five of my best friends, and we were just drinking and chatting, which was great for me because for them it was 10 o'clock at night and for me it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So by the time my husband came home, I was in a pretty good mood, let's put it that way. But anyway, that's by the by. It did kind of make me realise something funny that happened that I didn't even realise was happening, because the friends that I have now are the same friends that I had when I was at school. So I met most of them when I was 10. And so obviously we've grown together, but the kind of conversations we have now has drastically changed from how they used to be. Our conversations used to be years ago talking about boys and talking about like going shopping or pretty shallow things, really, to be honest, because we are all a bit shallow when we're, puberty and all that. We're all dickheads. Like, I'm pretty sure we can all admit to being a bit of an arsehole at some point growing up. But it just kind of got me thinking into the type of conversations I have now compared to the type of conversations I had then. I kind of found that when you get older, like most of my friends are already 30 or they're turning 30 this year. And before you ask, yes, I am much, much, much younger than the rest of my friends. Yeah, right, okay. But so our conversations are different now, and we're a lot more open about things that we otherwise would never, ever talk about. So the other night when we were chatting, or last night, we were talking about times where we had either pissed ourselves or shit ourselves, which is only the kind of conversation I would never have had that conversation when I was in my early 20s. Like, just no way. The shame. But there's something about having that conversation when you're in your mid to late 20s that you almost kind of feel like, yeah, almost shit myself. I don't give a fuck. You just don't really care, because it's not that embarrassing when you get older. Like, I honestly feel like there really isn't a lot that would make me incredibly embarrassed nowadays. I say that, I'm sure there are things, but nowhere near as bad as it was when I was younger. When I was younger, I worried about everything. Now I don't. I've never actually shat myself. A few of my friends have. I'm not at that level yet. Maybe it'll come when I am 30, but I haven't had that. I did come close to, I'll tell you the story. So this was actually when I was like 19. I was sat on the toilet, and I don't know how the fuck this happened. I was going for a wee, and I misaimed, which is like not really a thing if you're a girl, but somehow I did it. And I remember being so incredibly shocked that I'd misaimed that I felt the need to put on some pyjamas, run downstairs into the garden where my mum was hanging out the washing, waving my pissy pants in the air and shouting, "Mum, look, I pissed myself." And she kind of laughed out of sympathy, but I didn't realise that our next door neighbour was like the other side of the fence. So he saw everything, and our relationship has never been the same. And that's probably one of the more embarrassing things that happened to me. I've never spoken to the neighbour since because of what happened. They know things about me that most people don't know. Apart from everyone that's watching this, now you all know. But it was quite tough to get a laugh out of my mum at the time. Like, she does have this weakness which I learned when I used to argue with my dad. She would laugh every time if I ever said, "I'm going to be sick on your face." That was the one thing that made Mum laugh hysterically. Anyway, I've been talking too much and the video is coming to an end, so that's why I'm speeding up the pace a bit, and I'll just say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and that's it. Bye-bye.